Hey, church family, I'm excited about the weekend that's ahead of us as we begin our new fall schedule. As a church, always existing to equip people to find life and faith in Christ, and doing that best as we connect with each other, grow in our own relationships with God, encourage others to do the same, and participate in what God's doing in our life and in the world around us. And I just wanted to send a reminder that that's a new season for us beginning this Sunday. And so some of that's just administratively covering the details. You can see on the screen behind me here, we've got a traditional service that'll take place at 8:30, a Sunday school block that'll start at 9:45, and then our contemporary service that'll be at 10:45. And some of you may be looking at the video going like, that screen used to not be in that room. And you're right, there's actually two of them you can maybe see, upgrading some of our ability to have those digital things in service. We've also upgraded the technology in this space as well, so that both our traditional service and our contemporary service will be able to be streamed out. And so if you aren't going to be here to engage with us in person, you can look on our Facebook page at either 8:30 for our traditional service or 10:45 for our contemporary service. But that's by and large just administrative detail. I'm far more excited about how we get to connect and grow and participate with each other, about how we see our life and faith develop in Christ. And so just a couple of things I'll let you know about this weekend. One, we're going to be starting a new series for the next bunch of weeks, like the longest series I've done at this church. We're going to be going through the Gospel of John. And so we'll start this week, if you want to read in advance, with kind of John's prologue, John 1, verses 1 through 18, looking at Jesus' origin from heaven and his incarnation here to join us in the flesh. And so we'll spend some time talking about that. And then for this next season, talking about Jesus as the way and the truth and the life, the thing of value and where our hope lies. And so I'm looking forward to that series over the course of this next season. We've also got, for the first time since March, live Sunday school happening again. And so there'll be options available for every age. And so you can look through what Rob and Sherry have sent via email or posted on the Facebook page or website for what that looks like for students and youth. I'll remind you, there's 2 in-person adult classes, Pastor Maurice teaching a class through one of John's epistles, and then Sandy Wallace teaching a class, a video-based series with Gary Smalley on how we do relationships well. And then there's a digital online class as well. Pastor Bruce will be posting on our website links to a study through the book of Acts. So it's a great time to grow in your faith as you engage in those Sunday schools. And many of you will also connect with others in those Sunday school classes if you're here live, and we would love for that to happen. It's the first time in 2 years or so for me that the Sunday school time will be a time I'm not preaching without having a third service going on, that time set aside for those connections and that growth again. And so I'm excited, without not teaching a Sunday school class at this particular time, for me to be able to connect. And so I want to give you a picture of what that can look like. Well, some of our cafe stuff will be different because of COVID regulations and what we can and can't serve. Still opportunities to connect. And as that may happen outside with the weather being nice or down in our cafe space, either of those will be appropriate places. I'm looking forward to that and just want to give an opportunity to anybody who wants to join me in particular. I'm looking forward to just getting to know people and you guys getting to know me in really non-official ways. So I'm going to make some rules. I'm going to be wherever the majority of people are. I'm assuming that'll be in the cafe, but weather dependent, some may move outside. And I'm looking to just sit with some people, and I want to ask questions about your life. I'm happy for you to ask questions about my life, but here's some of the rules. I don't want to talk about church-related things. That doesn't mean we can't talk about our faith, but I don't want that to be a time where I'm just answering church questions. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about COVID. I want to talk about our hearts and dreams and passions. And so I'll be happy to ask you questions about that in your own life. If you're wondering what that means you'd want to talk to me about, feel free to ask me about soccer or golf. Feel free to ask me about running or areas of passion of mine about adoption or foster care, about human trafficking and what we can do to put an end to that, or what I try to do to put an end to that. And just talk about some of what life looks like for me, not when I'm on stage and not when I'm preaching or teaching or in the office here. And so if you want to just hang out and connect with me as we can get to know each other better, I'd love to do that in a really comfortable setting. And so those opportunities aren't available with just me. You can choose to do that with everybody that's here. And they may not have the rules. And so you can talk about other things that you maybe want to talk about because they're hot buttons for you right now. But I would love to talk about some different things. I've spent a lot lot of time and have lots of meetings talking about those other things right now, and would love to just get to know you and give you opportunity to know me. Regardless of that, and what's going to happen is we're also going to have great times of worship and great times of hearing from God through His Word. And so our hope is that you would come not just to connect with others, though we hope that happens, not just to grow personally in your faith, but to participate. And that participation may look like serving in one of our ministries, like as a greeter or an usher. It may look like being on a tech team or a worship team. It may look like coming and being a connector and going out of your way to meet someone and serving through encouragement and connection. And it will look like participation in our worship, not just listening to those who are leading, but participating in the worship. And I would say, and participating in the sermon by having an open heart and ears to listen and apply is what God's Spirit may be saying to you, that you would have an open spirit to how you may want to apply what God is doing. And so I'm hopeful to see you this weekend, hopeful to connect with you, hopeful that we are all equipped to find life and faith in Christ as we connect with each other, grow in our own relationships with God, encourage others to do the same, and participate in what He's doing in our life and in the world around us. Look forward to seeing you this weekend, whether that's in the building or digitally as you engage with us. God bless.